Oi, oi.
How you doing?
You alright?
All good?
Yeah.
What's happening?
It's just after Combe,
Yeah.
Castle Combe. It isn't really, it's like weeks later. But with the power of editing, we will make this work. This is a long one, so grab yourself a tea and have a sit down. But this video is we filmed this the Monday, Tuesday after the King of Combe race at Castle Combe. So this is the first time Josh raced. So obviously last year we picked up his R6, his R1, and we built that superbike for him. Top and bottom, for someone who can't say words or add numbers, the lad's fast. Won a race. I was on a podium with him at one, like boys quick. So it was an emotional weekend for him, for me and him. Yeah, a lot went on. So we'll roll into this, we'll get through the intro, and it's basically me and Josh having a chat about how he feels, how it went, what happened, because there's a bit of ups and downs, and then thank you to everybody who supported the project. It does mean a lot. He struggles to say it or to express how he feels, but yeah, I think it's a big deal. So we'll try and get some bits and pieces of videos and photos and stuff and chuck them in, but have a watch, and hopefully you've liked the build series. But I'm so chuffed we got him back out, and it was never about him being quick, but I think it's just for him being quick was a massive deal. So yeah, watch the video, hope you enjoy it. It gets emotional, so I won't see you in a minute because I filmed that bit weeks ago, so I'll see you on the next one. Laters. Oi, champ. Nice. You dried out yet?
Yeah.
Oh, can't leave in.
Yeah, pretty. It's pretty wet, pretty moist, wasn't it?
Mildly moist. So come on then, paint us a picture.
I'm not very good at painting, am I?
No. Were you shit or were you good?
It was mint, wasn't it? It was sick. I kept using this word to everyone. I was like, sick, sick. That's all I kept saying to people. I sounded like a 15-year-old kid. Sick.
You are a 15-year-old kid.
Well, technically, I'm probably. Well, how old am I now? A year. I'm over a year now, aren't I?
Over a year.
I've had a year birthday, haven't I?
I've had a year
Josh
birthday.
Why
do you celebrate 2-year birthdays?
Josh V2. No, version 2. Josh has had.
Yeah, what is it now?
15 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
15 months.
Yeah.
Something like that.
15 months since someone knocked some sense into you.
Yeah, I was going to say something then. Like, I keep referring to myself as a certain subject, don't I? But slightly special.
Mildly special.
Mildly special.
I keep wobbling with the camera. I need to look what I'm doing.
Wibbly wobbly.
So, you flew back on Thursday.
Yeah, I got back at 5 o'clock Thursday morning.
Off your honeymoon.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to get married that much. You put yourself into a coma.
Yeah, but I got it done and got back to do some racing though, didn't we?
Yeah, mate. The funny thing was like the day after you got married, your first post wasn't like, how happy do we look in our honeymoon? It was, I'll be at Combe racing.
Because I had to get the racing out of the way first, didn't I? I had to get the wedding out of the way first before I was thinking about racing.
Thursday morning, 5 o'clock, you land.
Yeah. 2 hours sleep, if I'm lucky. 9 o'clock, Castle Combe. Boom. Living the dream. Oh, it's mint. So good to get back there. Yeah, it's proper sick.
And then you were out Friday morning testing, weren't you?
Yes.
So that was obviously the first time you'd rolled a wheel on this bike.
Yeah.
This is the one we built.
The weapon.
So, how did it feel?
Yeah, we done all the bars and everything and all that stuff before we even got there. So what did we actually do? I think we checked the static sag.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
And then Al done his suspension stuff that he does.
Yeah. The good thing is you kind of knew roughly where you wanted to be with this, didn't you? Because you had one before.
Yeah, I think we're probably slightly soft in the rear, but I didn't even know if I could go right left, so it was irrelevant almost. But no, it was
felt
it was
right.
mint.
Did you put your lap timer on Friday?
Yeah, I put my lap timer on Friday.
I think you did 12s in a...
I done.
Go on.
To be fair, my lap timer, I put my lap timer on and I'd done a 12.7 in the second session.
Yeah.
The first session, it was wet. We put wets in.
Yeah.
And it dry. By the time we went out there, it was dry. But it was actually quite good for the first time on it, because all I done was like, I just clicked into sixth and just cruised around.
Took a bit of pressure.
To be fair, Popey was out on, I think he had a wet front and a dry rear. And I think he was loving overtaking me. He overtook me. I overtook him again on full wets. We're just cruising around. Just cruising around.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah. So that was good, because we just got a feel for the bike. Then I went straight out, then a 12. Did we change anything? We made changes pretty much straight away, didn't we? With like engine brake and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think after the second session, you come in. You said it was a bit keen to back in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we opened engine braking up slightly.
Yeah.
But other than that, you were in full power mode, full traction, or traction off,
yeah,
or least traction.
Yeah.
It was wheelie, wasn't it, as well? A little bit of wheelie control.
Lift or whatever it was, yeah.
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 But that was literally electronics.
And then the third session, we've done a 10.9. My whole game aim for the weekend was to get into a 9. I didn't expect to be anywhere near any of the boys. If I could have got into a 9, I would have been happy. Okay. That was like, and obviously.
Bearing in mind, your fastest you've ever been around there, 8.6, isn't it?
8.6, yeah. When Cooper done the 8.4.
Yeah.
That race.
Because you were leading and he was chasing you, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah, he was chasing me, and then the race after that one.
Yeah.
I let him go first because I wanted to get my lap record back.
Yeah.
But we both went slower, so I lost for no reason. But no, it was sick bikes.
So then Saturday morning, race day, warm up.
Oh yeah, first session.
Warm up.
Yeah, top warm up by like
10.4.
0.02 over Spud.
Over Spud, yeah. But to be fair, you two were having a bit of a play out there, weren't you? So
yes.
Charlie Nesbitt.
Yeah, he come past me.
We say Spud like everyone knows he is. That's Charlie Nesbitt. So he's just finished like what, 6th in British Superbikes.
Yeah. He's top Honda, isn't he, this
Honda,
year? Top Superbike Honda this year.
So he rolls up with his team, Hawk Racing, and you two were having a bit of a battle, weren't you?
To be fair, I'd done the Friday, but then he's been riding the bike constantly all year.
He just got off at Brands, didn't he?
Yeah, I ain't rode in however many days. What was it? I think Al said it was like 400 and...
You haven't raced, and do you know what? We should have looked the date up, but it was May, wasn't it?
I think it was 464 days. I think Al said. Yeah. And then went straight out to my first timed session, and bloody topped it, didn't we? From Max, from
everybody.
Max.
That was the open warm up.
Yeah.
So it was King Coon warm up.
Yeah, and to be fair, I wasn't too bad with that. Emotional, I was alright because it was just tenfold practice.
Yeah. Power bike race first.
Yeah, power bike race first. And I said this to the boys. They all went at the start, and I just reeled them back in.
Yeah.
I think I'd done a 9. I think I'd done a 9.7. Maybe even quicker. I can't remember.
So in the power bikes, then it was
Charlie, Nesbitt, Max, TJ, and me. Yeah. And I was just. Charlie was gone, to be fair. And it was Max and TJ, and I was all over him. And I said, without sounding big-headed, because I definitely wasn't being big-headed, but it felt easy. And if anything, I've obviously had this conversation with you there, but I was worried. I wasn't worried. I was thinking too much because it felt easy.
Yeah.
And I know they say, it's just like riding a bike and all, but my brain.
Your body knew what to do, and your brain didn't.
But when I finished, like the sessions, when I finished the race, as you all know, I was just crying my eyes out.
Well, I caught you, didn't I? Right after that, me and you had a little moment.
Yeah.
The way of everybody. And
I think I'm allergic to cuddles, if I'm honest with you, because every time I cuddled someone, I just cried all weekend.
Mate, that was because I purposely didn't go to Pembury. I didn't want to. I stayed away. I just needed to let you go and ride a bike.
Yeah.
And my opinion was at times. Even when you went off, everybody turned it into a big drama.
Yeah.
And I said to you need to rock up to Castle Combe in black.
Stealth. So say stealth.
No one knows who you are. Super low key.
Yeah.
No pressure, and just ride a bike, and we'll see where you end up.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, we
at
did
the
not.
end of the first race, to come behind
I didn't expect to
three
be
British
that at all.
BSB lads.
Oh, they're all British Championship riders, yeah. And they're all doing well. But like
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
like
yeah. They're all riding the best.
Spud's top Honda, TJ's flying.
Yeah, and
this
Max
year
has
on
never rode any
and
better.
And Max is riding the best he's ever rode.
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't like you got smoked by 20 seconds. You were on their ass.
No, it was there, yeah. Yeah, we're literally there, which obviously is good for as a person in general. It's mint, innit? So that helped me a little bit, as long as I say it was emotional, wasn't it? And then we had the open race.
First open race.
And same again. Charlie was gone. I think he'd done it 8-0 to be fair, so he wasn't like miles in the first race. He'd done it 8-0. So he wasn't like miles ahead, but he was ahead. And the same again. It was Max and TJ and me. And Max started pulling away from TJ, and I thought, I was all over TJ. I thought, I've got to try and have a go, ain't I? And I made my first overtake. It was sick. I tried a couple of times, to be fair.
Where'd you get
up in the quarry.
Yeah.
We're really good at that. I like to say, marker, brake, down 2, brake, down 1, down 1. Like, know what you're doing. Whereas, yeah, it was mint. That's where I passed him, and
So that's your first podium.
So my first podium, and that was the day over, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it couldn't have really gone any better.
No, that's it.
Yeah, the bike was, like I say, we did do some changes. Al's always been. He's what is he? He's not. What do they call him these days? They're like technical crew.
Yeah, crew. He's always kind of like. It's weird, isn't it? Because he just knows what you want.
Yeah.
So you'll come in and say what you think. He's like a crew chief, but he's more in tune with you than he doesn't need as much.
Because it's all about that rapport, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what these kids these days they have to get, is the rapport with someone.
Yeah. But there was a time when you were rubbish with feedback.
Horrendous, yeah.
Whereas now, with your experience, I think you've got.
Oh, if anything now, like even after, because that's the one when I first rode Paul's bike, I think I know what it's doing. Like I can tell. Like instantly, I was like, oh, it's backing in a little bit. It's obviously on the brakes, obviously, and I'm like, but it is off throttle. Like into tower, it was off throttle, wasn't it? So then we knew it was engine brake.
Yeah.
So then we can start
make
working
a change
from there. Whereas it's hard, and people get caught up in, don't they? So yeah, I definitely still got the feel. I've got a feely bum, and apparently. That's where it all comes.
Twitchy bumhole.
Twitchy bumhole. That's where you get the feel from, isn't it? That's not telling anyone to do anything to try and get any feedback that way.
No, it's just that's what makes. You know, when you think back to opportunities you've had in the past, if you knew what you know now, back then.
Yeah, definitely.
All kicked off Saturday night.
Monty
turns up.
I think I had about that much of a bottle of Corona, and I was the drunkest person you've ever seen in your life.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go around there.
So one of our mates turned up, and he does like weddings, DJ for weddings and stuff, and he goes, "Oh, I got my decks in the car." So he literally brings a full-on Glasgow rave to.
We said we'd be lucky to get half an hour, and we had a great time. To be fair, everyone from the bar dragged all the tables over. The bar was empty. The bar was empty. They were still selling drinks and stuff to the NG paddock.
But they're all outside.
The party was outside, and it was mint. It was like a bit of a celebration for us, wasn't it? Because
yeah, it was. But I mean, even Jack, my lad, he stayed with me. He stole the mic off Marty and was singing "There's only one King of Coon" down the mic to everybody.
There's only one King of Coon. I didn't realise that he was talking about me, to be fair. I thought he was on about someone. It took me a while to realise that he was on about me. Yeah, I'm Queen of Coop now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Saturday night. And then, considering I was so drunk, we woke up and had an even better Sunday.
Yeah, it was a good Sunday. So come on then. You had power bikes first.
Yeah, power bikes first. So we...
Spud cleared off again, to be fair, didn't he?
Spud cleared off.
He done 6-9.
He smashed it.
Oh, mate.
That might not have been that one that was 6-9.
Is that the Open he done 6-9?
I think he done a 7-7.
7-7 and then the Open.
And I done an 8-9 in that one. And then so I overtook Max straight away. Then TJ was running second for quite a bit and overtook TJ. So I'd done 2 overtakes, finished second.
Yeah.
And then the Open, he done a 6.9 then, and I was second. I got off pretty much from the start. I think I was second as well. I got a good.
You got away
I learned how to use that.
Use the upright clutch.
Yeah, use the upright clutch. Yeah, which.
Because obviously it's got a scooter brake below. Just takes a bit of.
Oh yeah.
Because what people forget as well is now you've got no brake pedal. So what you would normally do is
hover
on the brake.
Yeah. Whereas I have to literally, I'm letting the clutch out and then I'm back on the brake, just like almost instantly. Yeah. Whereas I wasn't doing that at the start, so my starts got better all weekend.
These are hard to launch as well, aren't they? Because they've got so much torque.
Yeah.
I think our ones are hard to launch.
Yeah, they are a bit chuggy, aren't they? You almost want them to be higher in the rest. It's good though, because it's like a diesel, you can't stall it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I was coming down into, what's the last chicane? Is it Bybrook? So I was coming down into last chicane and I was like, God, I'm on him here. But I wasn't. He was just on the other side of the chicane. But it's a stop. I was thinking, God, I'm pretty close to Spud here.
Yeah.
But by the time I get out of the chicane, he's down the straight.
He's
literally on the start finish.
That concertina effect, isn't
it? I think he won by, I think it was over 10 seconds. But he's our class act. He's probably one of our next young hopes.
Would
you say?
Yeah. I mean, when you look, we've known him since he's a pup, really. So you think everything he's got on, he's been fast.
Yeah.
Whether it's a mini motor, a pit bike, the kid's got something special, and he's now started to get the process around him.
He's got the people behind him as well.
To help him go fast.
Not saying he hasn't had before, but
no. But as you get older, you kind of figure.
What is it they're saying, like the ducks line?
You get your ducks in a row.
Ducks in a row, like that. And he's mustard, and he is such a nice kid as well. He was obviously one of the first to congratulate us when he was waiting for me on the in lap. I think we almost had a little synchronised wheelie as well. I'd done some wheelies.
You've done a wheelie? I'd done some wheelies. Me and you finished on the because you wheelied in a wet. Right?
Yeah, that was right as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in the open, and we get to that now. But honestly, you come up over the rise and you've done this monster wheelie in a wet, and I was like, fuck me, Josh can wheelie.
I never could wheelie.
I know, you were rubbish.
But I still done it, maybe because I'd done a burnout at the end, didn't I? Which maybe I've gone back to burnout. So that was my celebration, was a burnout, because I could never wheelie.
But you wheelied up over the rise bit to Bybrook, and I was like that.
Yeah, she was good as well.
This boy's learned some skills in his coma.
Because I can wheel, maybe it's the back brake.
Because you can hover on the back brake.
Well, I didn't touch the back brake, but because it's there, and I'm good at wheeling a push bike, it's probably comfort. Yeah, I can wheelie a push bike, all right, and I can never wheelie a bike. But now I've got a back brake like a push bike.
Yeah.
It seems to have worked. But I did when I cleaned the bike earlier, obviously from the racing, I was like, "Oh, we're using a lot of fork, aren't we?" Obviously, that's the wheelie.
Oh, when you can smash it down.
So it's not just a, what's that saying? For someone that's trying to set their bike up, I wouldn't suggest doing a wheelie if you're trying to use your gauge marker.
Yeah. But this is the problem when you go off like a zip tie around your fork there, is it just gives you one point in time, doesn't it? It doesn't tell you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I think I think you're good enough now to realise what you need and what you don't need on a bike. But.
Yeah.
So that was second in the open race on the Sunday.
So second, and then we had the powerback race in the afternoon. And
so when it started raining, what were you thinking? Bearing in mind you haven't ridden in the rain for probably 2 years.
I went in the caravan. I didn't even look at the thing, and I was actually trying to think back to when I last rode in the wet. And we've had conversations because I used to be good in the wet, but I genuinely can't remember. They said it on BSB, didn't they? That they haven't raced in the raining.
You didn't race at all last year. You didn't even test it.
Like BSB didn't race last year.
So it would have been the Ducatis, and the last time I can think before that was probably like Cadwell.
I think it might have been. I genuinely think it might have been 21.
Yeah.
20. What was last year? Was it last year? 22.
22.
So it would have been 20 or 21, or even 20, because I don't.
And even then, I don't think you won. Because that was Ducatis. I don't think you won the last time it was wet.
No, because it was I was going for championship. I think I finished like 5th or something.
When it Walker?
Yeah, I finished 5th at Cadwell because I didn't have to win.
Yeah. Didn't Walker dick Shuey?
Craig Neve, Shuey and Shuey. But yeah, you've done them all, yeah. I think it was Walker, Craig Neve, then Shuey maybe on the podium. Anyway, this is irrelevant.
Chris Lucky didn't have a gun stuck in his face for that one.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. At least they can't watch this anyway.
We won't get into that.
Yeah, we can't watch this. But
so
yeah,
you were alright then going out for the range, I think?
I didn't know what to expect. And me and you had this conversation, and you said to me, like, just go out and take it as it is.
Bike.
Yeah. And
Play the hand you dealt.
Yeah.
Mate, you had to start.
Mate, my start was mint, and I thought, all right, just do me, because you know what it's like when in the rain, you've got clear track, you ain't got the spray, have you?
Yeah.
And then this bike come past me, and I thought it was Popey to start with, like a skinny Popey. Not, you know,
but
it was, yeah. But
he had
Popey seat unit on there.
Yeah.
And there was this kid on there, and I didn't have a clue who it was. I thought, Jesus Christ, he's going well. So I sat behind him for 2 laps. And Dan
Nelms it was.
Yeah, Dan Nelms, and he was flying.
Yeah, he was quick, mate.
But then he just hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
So I got past and started dropping some 18s in, which is not a bad time.
Mate,
but we'll get to that. We'll get to the other times in a minute. But yeah, I was doing some 18s, and then my lap time went up. My pit ball went up to like 10 seconds, and there was 2 or 3 laps to go.
Yeah.
So I was catching back markers, but I started rolling off obviously now, and I'm thinking, sorry my language, I was like, Jesus Christ, like first meeting back, I'm leading the race here. So then I started thinking, and I was like, oh, back marker slow, past the back marker here, and then last lap I come round and my pit ball was like plus 5, and I was like, all right, I'm getting caught fast here, but I've got 5 seconds. So I made an half decent lap to fair, and I caught a back marker into, is it second chicane? What's that one?
Yeah, just second chicane.
The second chicane.
Yeah, Bobby's I think is called.
Yeah, and I come out of it, and I went to go around the outside of him, and I thought, it's a bit dodgy around the outside, because he could
it's
drift.
Offline as well,
It's offline, he could drift wide. So literally, as I shut off to cut back on the inside of him, this bike just almost took me, it felt like it almost took me out, like it come past me at 300 mile an hour, in this white bike, and I knew it was TJ straight away. Still like with 1 corner to go, I led the whole race.
I know. Yeah. We were gutted.
Yeah.
From
I didn't, and to be fair, I didn't, and it wasn't 5 seconds behind.
Because when you're racing, you never see the story unfold. You just see your pit board. So you're racing your pit board. He started. To be fair, he had a good.
But there wasn't many. There was only like 15 on the grid.
Yeah,
so
he started last.
He must have been 5th by the first corner.
After the first lap, he was like 16 seconds behind you.
Yes.
So we got motoring on. So you built your lead.
Yeah.
But over the last 2 laps, what your board didn't tell you.
He was doing 16s. I was doing 21s.
Yeah.
Because I'd shut right off, and I didn't think I needed to do any more.
No. So like how it works in British is because we get sectors. So the third sector is maybe 20 seconds old data you're getting showed on your pit board.
Yeah.
Whereas at NG,
it's a whole lap.
It's a lap. So you're a lap behind anyway. So he's come across. You've been shown 5. It's close to the 3.
Yeah.
You know,
and I've took it easy.
And you've took it easy.
And it's all my fault, but to be fair, fair play to him, and we're all there to win.
Yeah.
But I was literally.
Oh mate,
I was fuming with him, and I was fuming with myself, because that race meant everything to me.
Yeah.
And like,
but
when would we get the chance to
let
do
me
that
ask
again?
Let me ask you this, right? Because you learned a lesson very quickly in that.
Oh yeah.
Would you rather it have ended it ended?
Yeah, no, I would have 100%. I would.
So let's go. You were bouncing. Yeah. I come round.
But if I would have known he was 3 seconds behind,
you wouldn't have backed off.
I wouldn't. No. I would have gone round the outside of that back marker, and I would have won the race. Simple.
Yeah.
But that's a lesson learned, isn't it? And I don't want to be fucking handed anything, but I was just fuming at the time.
The problem is like we said, lap 2 or 3 when you got into lead. Yeah. What were you doing?
18s.
But you were thinking about winning.
Yeah, I was like, this is sick. I was like leading the race. And to one point, I can remember coming out of, it must have been 2 laps when it was 10 seconds. I come out of Quarry, the right-hander, and Stewie's there on the left, isn't he? And I'm looking at Stewie, he's not looking at me because he's not. But I'm looking, thinking, I wonder if he can see me. I'm doing right, yeah. I'm doing right, yeah. Like I'm just thinking about shit like that. So anyway, that race was
what it
still
was?
good. Second, I come in and I was like, I'm done with this. I ain't riding. Blah blah.
But would you say now this is what your accident has probably brought to the forefront?
Yeah,
is
like
your
because I had 2 hours to think about it, or I had an hour to think about it. But now I could have processed it.
Yeah.
But at the time, my brain, I've just had enough.
You're overwhelmed almost.
Oh yeah. I just
And to be fair, it was an overwhelming weekend anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I
every time someone come near you bawled your eyes out.
Yeah, I cried. To be fair, I don't think I cried. I didn't cry Sunday until the last race.
Yeah.
Because the one race before the last race, I was actually punching the cupboards in the caravan.
Yeah.
And Becky was always trying to calm me down. And before anyone thinks, mate, I'm not an idiot to ever go anywhere punch anyone or anything. And my thought process, because I got annoyed on the Saturday qualifying when you obviously get held in pit lane for a while, don't you? And the bike overheated. Because I try and get out the front, and everybody's trying to sneak in, and my brain's like, what are you trying to do in sneak in there, mate? Like, I was here first. You start thinking that. Next thing, the bike's overheating because we're waiting. And it's throwing water out. So I've wheeled the bike back, and I'm fuming now because the bike's overheated. I'm fuming. So I'm taking my glove off, and I can remember walking to the ambulance.
Yeah, and you threw your glove.
And I was literally about to punch the ambulance. Obviously, but my brain's good enough to realise that that's wrong. But it does go through it, and your thoughts don't define you. I've had this conversation, but that thought, I just want to smash them up, and I threw my glove on the floor. I can control it, but I'm not as good.
No, but this is now where, like, if anyone was to look down the result sheet and look at what the weekend you had, they go, Deo's back. Yeah, and you are, mate. You were phenomenal.
Oh yeah, on the bike, I'm fine.
But how you process certain circumstances. Like, you were on holiday and the bike had been to the dyno. You're getting married and you're messaging me and your dad.
Yeah. Is it done? Is this done? Is this right?
Because you can't tick it off you can't get it out of your head. No. And I think that's what people don't understand, is that actually little things now are mountains to you. Yeah,
I don't sleep. The only way I can zone out is by listening to like music or watching a film. Yeah. Because my brain just goes
almost
crazy.
Made you hypersensitive to things.
Yeah.
Like the old Josh.
I just forget about it.
Yeah. Like I remember being stood on warm up and it was running hot, and I saw it was 118 degrees, and you were like, "Is this all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just knock it off. It's fine." Because I knew I couldn't say to you, "Fucking hell, Josh, you got to turn that off." Yeah. Because I knew it would be poison in your brain. Yeah. The problem is like you said, then it's a case of, well, we did, didn't we? We had a chat, and I'm like, just when you pull up, switch it off, and just leave it, and it's fine. And then once you've processed that, you're all right. But
like, there's a couple of things, like, because I hadn't done a start on this bike, so we done practice, quali. The last quali, we were like, make sure you do a practice start. But because I'm special, I'm like,
you forgot.
They had a practice start placed, didn't they?
At the end
and
of
I'm like,
practice.
End of quarry on the right.
Yeah.
And I've gone past it, and I'm like, for sake, I've missed it. And then I'm fuming now.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I pretty much calmed down by the time I got to the
but a little thing has a massive...
A little thing is massive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mate, you were here the night before you flew on your honeymoon, like, and we're having to write a list. And like, to me, I'm like, the bike's fine. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It was sorted.
I needed to do the list,
but you needed to get through your list. Yeah. Even to the point that you and Becky have had words over it. Yeah. Because you had a falling out about the bike before you went, and
I'm trying to think what that was now.
Probably because you had to come down to me on the night you should be packing to go on holiday.
Yeah. I think I put my socks in and buggered off. But my brain works in different ways. and if it's in there, it's got to be sorted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm alright. Don't get me wrong, I'm alright.
I like the new Josh. You text me back.
Yeah. A lot of people prefer the new me, if I'm honest here, because there's a lot more thought. Whereas I think, not that I was a prick before. I was going to use the C word, but probably not a great word to use. But when we were doing our racing, you've almost got to have this persona about you.
Yeah.
Say almost. You kind of gather this persona about you that you're. Do you know what I mean? You have to build up this persona. And now, I think about everyone else.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever say you didn't. I think it was just a case of like, if we go back to say before, and I'd text you before a weekend, you'd be like, oh, Rick's text, he's thinking, but
I wouldn't reply.
You'd be 100 miles an hour getting everything else sorted that we'd chat the week after. But I knew that was you.
Yeah.
Some days it'd not piss you off, but some days you're like,
it's only a minute, mate, just text me back.
Yeah. But like now, you're actually the opposite way, where you'll message before like we all do something, or you know what I mean? It's kind of like, but then that's just, I suppose, really the other side of that is, I would almost say it is like that. You've almost got like, you become hypersensitive to things. So you're hypersensitive to the feelings we've got for each other, or you know, the results. Like you said, you got upset a couple of times over the weekend.
Yeah. Mate, hopefully, maybe that's why I'm crying all the time.
That's why I caught you after that power bike race, because I didn't want to be in the drama at the morning. That was me and you. Yeah. Like just out of the way, because even building this together, like I can't imagine us ever have kind of. It would have been regimented before. Yeah. It wouldn't have been as, not personal, but maybe as like the stuff we chatted about, like almost like therapy for the two of us to build it.
Yeah, and when you say about therapy, the thing instantly comes to my head is about motorbikes, because the amount of people that think I'm fucking mental for doing this, or Becky's mental, or my family are mental for letting me do it afterwards, because it was pretty big, like as people that would know. So I've said this before, like it's like GCS is like a measurement of coma. Yeah. And it's like 1 to 15, and I was 4. 3's dead, and I was 4. It was pretty bad. But going back to this, what you just said about therapy, motorbikes is like, it's the biggest drug, but it's the biggest medicine. When I was riding around, mate, I found $1 million.
Yeah.
I found $1 million.
Mate, nothing, and this is like Saturday I had a shocking day, and that all stemmed from qualifying. And even Kate's like, it's all right, just forget it. But it just consumes you, completely consumes you. So I was in a shitty mood all day, all night, and it took until I slept to feel better. And then Sunday, mate, that is the proudest thing I have ever done. To be stood on that podium with you, me and George, like two riders I admire the most, my two best friends. Yeah. That is like, it was sick, mate, I'll face it, like I remember pulling up beside you, like when you won that race, and like water's running down the inside of our bikes.
As soon as I crossed that line,
dripping wet.
Yeah, like I get teary just now thinking about it.
Yeah,
it's so like, emotional.
It's buzzing. You know, George pushed you all away, and it's just but that's the highs. It was he was
on me as well. Like I said to you earlier, like into that second chicane, I could just hear his. It doesn't sound like TJ.
No. I had to I gutted I was so far behind, because I know if I'd been in the front two rows, I'd have been with you as well. Yeah. And like us three, but
yeah. So the last race, it was me, George.
Yeah, you were second on the grid. Charlie obviously didn't risk the bike in the wet. Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
TJ started from the back, to be fair.
I started like 13th.
Yeah, to be fair, you and TJ started pretty far back. But I led from turn 1.
Yeah, you two were gone.
Yeah, but this bike was just...
Yeah, he kept you honest.
+0,
he kept you honest.
+0, yeah. And fair play, he's riding mid. But the last 2 laps, I was like +0. I thought I wanted it so bad. So I was like brake here, brake. I was pretty much up in the quarry and into, so is it Avon Rise in the quarry? Avon Rise in the quarry. I wouldn't put me out. I ain't got a house, but if I had a house, I wouldn't put my house on it. But I wouldn't far off braking where I was braking in the dry.
In the dry.
Like
so grippy.
Field. Yeah,
mate, it's so grippy.
15-1. Yeah, done a 15-1, 15-5. Yeah, a bit wetter than when we had a few more.
Oh, here we go. Oh, you had more puddles. Piss off, mate. It was raining while we
had
were
rain
out.
the rain was like coming in here and it was going inside the helmet, wasn't it?
Do you know what, right? Deo changes, but Deo never changes. That is the old kind of crap you would have come out that day.
It was pretty bad, wasn't it?
It was brutal.
Yeah, it was horrendous rain. But to do those times on that,
that's ridiculous,
mental.
mate. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like people weren't even doing that in the dry.
What me and George did in the 600 race, mate, I think I would have put us like 6 on the grid for that race, for 600 race.
Mental, isn't it?
14 sixes we were doing.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
It's crazy.
There was loads of grip. That new bit of tarmac's mint.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But then people are referring to lap time because everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's new tarmac. Spud doing a night." That bit of tarmac makes no difference.
No, I agree with that.
You grab the throttle for. It's all on the brakes.
Yeah.
Which is actually bumpier than what it was.
See, for me, I think it added 2 problems. It took away 1 problem. It added 2. So I think I was slower through there with the new tarmac than I was with a bump.
I'd definitely say slower in.
But you could drive hard on the way.
Drive on the way out. Yeah. But again, that was for probably. That much. Yeah. There was only that much before you went on to the old tarmac. Yeah. By the time you actually got on the throttle.
Yeah, from
you
the
could drive
that,
to
the left.
Yeah. It wasn't a lot of tarmac.
It wasn't like it's 50 metres.
Yeah, it's not like Donington resurfaced probably, is it? So no, fair play to him. He'd like say done a 6.9.
It made you change your line almost because of where the bump was on the brakes. It made you change your line in.
Yeah, and we were chatting earlier, weren't we, about there's definitely I got a different line through there now. I had a different line from anyone anyway.
You're weird.
Yeah.
You've always done weird things on a bike.
Yeah.
Brands Indy with 3 gear changes.
Yeah, we used to run because I had it in my head, didn't I?
What was it? It was like 1642.
No, it was like 1442 or something.
No, it was really long. It was really long. It went short. It was like 1642 because it was long. Because you used to downshift for Druids, upshift out of Druids, and then that'd be it.
Yeah, but I genuinely think it was like 14 on the front, 42 on the rear. Because we used to use like 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
Mate, it was ridiculous.
I don't even know how or why, but yeah, we confused. But even when I went to the Ducatis, I always ran weird gearing, and obviously we were running at the front, and everyone. I can remember Phil Atkinson coming up to me. He was like, "What gearing you running, mate?" And I'm like, "Oh, let's just say 1442." Or again, it wasn't, but let's just say it. And he was like, "No, you ain't." I was like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, "Yeah, I like," because I don't care. I want to win. I'm like, showed him. He's like, "How are you running that?" And it'd baffle people. Yeah. So I'd almost like get in their heads because. Not it's just weird how I rode. I just ride different, don't I? Because I'm maybe a bit smoother. Like we're silky smooth, aren't we, me and you? That's why we do so well in the wet.
I don't think you had a moment, did you?
I had one moment, second lap, out onto the back straight. What's the?
Through Old Pallet to Hammerdown.
Yeah, Old Pallet.
In the dry or the wet?
In the wet. Yeah.
So all weekend, not a mistake in dry. No. And your fastest before you
was 8.6 on my old R1.
And you did
I done an 8.7. Yeah, so I haven't lost it. But I genuinely changed the suspension, but we haven't touched the bars, we haven't touched the head.
But you haven't sprung it when you say you change suspension. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we have.
People stealing stickers off the cars thing. That's literally like clickers and preload.
Yeah, rebound, stuff like that. We did do a bit of air gap in the front.
Yeah,
we did do
just
a bit
give you a little bit more damp.
Yeah, because it was just sitting a bit high in the stroke, wasn't it? Just try and keep it loaded up. But yeah, no.
Do you buzz in?
Yeah, bike's mint. And I had a load of stuff in my calendar for the start of the year for racing and stuff like that. Because I'd done my calendar mental because I was mental. But I have actually got Anglesey in for the next round.
So you can come with Anglesey?
Yeah, I loved it, mate. I genuinely, but I've achieved what I want to achieve. People keep saying to me, "Oh, do you want to go back to BSB?" And yeah, British Championship is where everyone wants to be, but I've been there.
Yeah,
I've done that.
The British Championship turns you into not a nice person.
It's just pressure.
It turns racing into not a nice thing.
That's what my new brain, I'm trying to relay on to a lot of these young kids. For one, life's too short. Yeah. But enjoy it. You've got to
love it.
Like we say, a happy rider is a fast rider. I'm loving riding.
I've always said every time I've ever seen you get on a bike with a smile on your face, you've smoked everybody. I've seen you beat all the lads running front of stock fouls. You beat Danny Buchan, Luke Stapleford, Richie Chianari. Shaky, you were faster than.
I was trying to think of I've done James Ellison.
Yeah.
All those lot.
But when you get on a bike with a monk on, you're a shithead.
Yeah, when the bike is shit and I'm fuming because it's shit and it don't handle and no one listens to me.
You're not a screen biter. Do you know what I mean? And if people don't know what that means, there's riders out there.
I could still do it for like quali. Don't get me wrong, but I know what you're saying.
You don't ride on rage. Some people can ride like you. I don't know. There's riders out there that just the more fired up they get, the faster they go. Yeah. And it's like the opposite for you. You've got to be like Mr. Chill on the
Tranquilo, chilled out, innit? Yeah. No, definitely, mate. But no, it was mint. I love it. Like I say, I don't want to go back to British Championship. I'd never say never, don't get me wrong. If somebody out there goes, "Oh, you want to ride my bike for a round," and they're paying for it.
Probably the future now, right?
Yeah, and honestly, because I don't have had the chat to you, but I put it on my post. Like when we were on that podium and I won that last race, which I don't even know. We said I won it.
You won it. George second, I was third.
So yeah, obviously like, crying all the way round. And when Harrison got on the podium with me, I literally just whispered to him, and I was like, mate, if you want it, you can do it. Yeah. Like, don't let anything get. I had this like emotional chat with him, and he never cried all weekend, but he was an emotional wreck as well. Because he was biting his nails, and
I think what people don't know as well is H saw everything when he crashed.
Yeah,
he was in the grandstand
on his own,
and he saw them working on you. He saw everything.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, we had the Joneses that were with us at the weekend. They looked after him because he was on the outside of the turn, and like I say, it's not child abuse, but he loves the racing. He watches on his own.
He watches his dad race.
Yeah, and he does it on his own.
It just so happened that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and like I say, last year he was winning both those mini British Championships, and then he broke his arm, and literally the week after my crash. And he went back to racing the end of the year and was rubbish. And the start of this year, he's literally battling for last, and I'm not exaggerating, last, which is horrible to see. And we get wound up because we put a lot of time and effort into it, don't we? But then obviously I rode at Pembury, and I was still all right. And he went to the next round and won everything. And that's what
you coming back has helped him as much as it's helped. But
that's what all these kids, and I'm trying to get to kids. Like, life's too short. Don't be scared. Because you could trip over.
Mate,
you could trip over a head and smash your head on a car.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Everyone comments on YouTube videos going, "Oh, you're reckless for risking what you have, your business," and I don't give a fuck.
You could literally get run over tomorrow.
You can't worry about it as long as Kate and the kids are happy.
Exactly that. Yeah. And you've got procedures in. So and to be fair, I wasn't insured last weekend, but I need to get insurance sorted because. Obviously, after my crash, we take all this. You're obviously insured, which most people are, but I'd gone self-employed after my crash. So before my crash, I'd gone self-employed, and I didn't fill out my self-employed paperwork. So when I had my crash, they thought I was employed, and they wanted my. Basically, I didn't get a penny. Yeah. Whereas nobody wants any money, and I've got enough people to support me. So I think like Andrew, who was sponsoring me at the time, he gave us a couple £100 and some people bought shopping and stuff like that. Andrew was saying if I needed to, he would have paid my wage, but he didn't pay my wage because
you didn't need it.
I didn't need it. Becky was still getting money from her job.
But you literally come out of hospital and started painting again.
Nah.
You did. You went. It weren't.
Oh yeah. It weren't. I did go. She said I I went back into.
I mean, I asked for purple fairings and you gave me pink, but do you know what I mean? It was
I can't. I genuinely think I did.
Mate, I bet if you sit here now and try to remember,
I can't remember any of it. I can't remember any of it. Which is good because I'm still able. But like I say, my brain is not, and it's still. I don't know. I say still. I think I'm as good as I'm going to get now. And I said this. Becky still thinks I'm different, and I am different. But I'm as good as
there's elements of you that are different, and there's elements of you that are better.
Yeah.
And there's elements of you that are worse, like your ability to deal with things you weren't expecting, like the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, but do you know what, mate? If you were rolling around here as a vegetable in a wheelchair and you could look at me and smile, I'd take that over what we thought had happened.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad.
Sat at home watching telly. I mean, we won't go into it too much.
Yeah, no, don't need to go into that. But yeah, it was pretty. A lot of people out there don't realise how bad it was, and we don't need to go into it because it's fucking past.
No, because what people forget is, well, yeah, you walked out, but you weren't right. You shouldn't have been let out.
No, I shouldn't have been let out. But that,
people thought,
because I recovered so fast, people thought, oh, he's all right.
You weren't.
I don't even know what I was doing. It was just
you were just alive and walking.
It was just like nobody knew any different. I definitely, like, even when I went, because we go into the neuro, there's shrinks, all that.
Concussion recovery, mate. Rob, who was with me at the weekend, who looks after me, and I know you didn't have concussion.
Yeah.
But concussion recovery is a massive thing.
Yeah.
So coma recovery
is
is
like
10
times,
worse.
yeah. And that's what I try, because we've got friends that have had concussion, and they're like, oh yeah, when I smashed my head once, I'm like, trust me, mate, I've been concussed many times.
Because you've told stories about you lying in bed and going off in the middle of the night. There's a bench at the bottom of your bed, and there are pound coins. And
there's videos. We've got videos of me. I think there's one weird video, and to be fair, Becky, she's laughing in the video because it is funny. Because I'm just away, and I'm chatting about some birthday cake. Have you seen that one? Whereas I'm like, oh, this person, I need to go and get a birthday cake because I just had that girl's birthday cake. Like, just mental, mate. Like, proper shot away. I'm awake, like, genuinely at 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking I need to go and buy a birthday cake because I've just had some little girl's birthday. I don't know any little girl anyway.
I don't even like cake.
I don't even like birthday cake. I genuinely don't like birthday cake, so I don't know why I would have ate one. But yeah, like. Yeah, we could go into it for hours and hours.
Mate, there's a year's worth of recovery that people don't know.
But this has definitely been mental part of my recovery, and I love every bit of it.
I think that's what, for me, like, has been a big thing. Is I do think it's a bit of therapy for your recovery.
Oh, 100%.
And then I think this is where this needs to go next, is then when we start chatting about people who've helped. And I know we're going to miss someone because I can't think of the guy's name, but even a Marshal come in and spent £100 in the hand.
I can't remember him. He knows us. We know. To be honest, I might have seen him at the weekend. I think I can't. My dad speaks to him a lot. He's local.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tell you what. I'll run through quick. So I'll back out and I'll try it. So the lovely Marshal who gave you some. Chuck £100 in the park.
Yeah. Should we tell should we tell the true story on the R6?
What?
Because the raffle bike, we can.
What? It ended up. What?
No,
it was you bought it.
Yeah, like, because basically it was my own bike that I bought when I was. So a lot of this bike
come from the R6 money.
Is the R6 money?
Yeah.
Which was already mine, anyway. But we said it was a sponsors because I didn't want people thinking I'd already had a bike. We can go into that forever. But yeah, long story short is I bought a bike off Copart and a bike off someone when I was full special.
You bought this, you shouldn't have.
I phoned Becky and I said I bought a bike. I need you to pay this. So I can, if anyone wants to, message me. I'll show you my bank account. I ain't got no money. But obviously we sold our lodge that we lived in for 40 grand. We had 40 grand savings. We ain't got none of that now. I haven't spent 40 grand on this bike, but I've got no money. And if anyone genuinely wants to see our bank account,
this is
not
like,
a problem. It's life.
You've had to pay your bills, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
We've been very supported with this, and I can't thank everyone
I'm
enough.
trying to find the list. Hang on, 2 secs. Right, 2 secs. I've got a list. Here's the
It's a good job because my memory's not great.
So we've got John D and Irene from YouTube, Mick Dance and Marshal from NG. We've got Andy AFB because he donated
and he's actually messaged me saying well done for the weekend and thank you.
Because he's the guy who runs Popey.
Yeah.
So he's mint.
Both Popies.
Both Popies.
Yeah, the one that was leading the race as well.
Yeah, I don't know whether he runs down or not. I don't know whether he just borrowed a tail unit off him or not. But, Mr. Beam from YouTube, Paul Messenger, so Messi's bike you rode at Pembury and all that. He does everything for everyone, that lad, doesn't he? He's lovely. Then Big G, so Mikey Hardie's dad.
Yeah.
So 113. So they're actually his wheels in the bike at the minute. All right. Then Paul Curran at PCR.
He's done that super motor.
So obviously,
and all the suspension. Oh yeah.
All the suspension is from Paul. The engine's from Paul. They mapped it for him as well. That was like the week before racing, wasn't it? I mean, Paul's mint. He does all my stuff. I mean, he's such a lovely bloke. And I think you two go back racing anyway, don't you? Holly and Bex are close.
Yeah, me and him racing. Do we race in Super Sport?
Super
When it
Sport.
was Evo, Spec. Like I say, I can remember him in his little truck doing some racing with us, and to what he is now, and to spare his time.
Yeah. Like he could have.
He's a very, well, I don't know. I'm not talking money, but he's a successful.
Well, he's got PCR and he runs OMG Racing, so obviously.
And he's
British Superbike champion, their current championship. So I mean, you think that's like, I mean that ended up being sat in
him as, and like a lot of my friends go there now to get their dyno work.
I tell everyone to go. If
we're not saying there's nothing wrong with anyone else.
Yeah, but Paul will bend over backwards for you.
Yeah. And you get the aftercare with him as well, don't you?
Yeah.
He'll always look after you.
Mate, he rung me Saturday asking how you got on. Did you need anything?
It's mental.
Do you know what I mean? So
and he's got a superbike team and a workshop to run, and he's worried how we're getting on. So thanks for that. And the motor's mental. It's so fast. Obviously, Spud's superbike was quick, but this didn't lose a lot on it.
No.
This was there on speed.
But you've got to remember as well, is like Spud was on brand new axes, so where you're trying to keep drive, mate, that thing was just lit.
And they're used to opening that, and I wasn't.
So mate, he'd just come from getting 6 at BSB. Like, you ain't no mug. You know what I mean? You can hang with him. So then.
And then suspension, obviously.
Yeah, obviously done. That's all K-Tech, so that's all from Paul.
And like I say, we haven't touched it. We've done the air gap in it, but the springs, as they are, how they are. We haven't had to adjust loads.
So. Phoenix Motorcycles then did everything we bought.
Yamaha.
Everything with a Yamaha badge on. James and his dad, they looked after us a lot. So that is
weekend,
Kit Loom, Kit ECU,
airbox,
throttle, airbox, stacks. Yeah, what else? Mate, what else do we have? Clutch cable, because that was broke. A few other bits and pieces. Paid for your entries at the weekend.
Our entries for Castle Combe.
So
we could literally
that's these guys.
Did they do bearings?
Everything. If it's a Yamaha partner that went on that bike, they sorted it out. They did it. So that's amazing. Obviously, Pipework sorted you out the exhaust. Who were the guys who did all your spider stuff?
So that's obviously Tom Tunstall motorcycle parts. So
like even got your name on it.
Spider rear sets, spider
buttons. All the switch gear. Steve at HEL, they obviously done all your brakes. So you've got master cylinder, front calipers. You got obviously Brembo discs. Yeah, they are good. I'd put Who did you change the sprockets?
So change the sprockets, Bike Talk Racing.
Right. Okay.
So I've always ran the AFAM sprockets.
AFAM.
I've ran them on the Ducatis. They've had me for years. Obviously, Neil no longer with us anymore, but the company have still helped us out with this build.
Yeah.
We weren't, to be fair, looking for free parts. They've helped me out for God knows how many years. Yeah. So I approached them to buy some parts, and they were still willing to help out.
Yeah.
So that's Bike Talk Racing. They are Bristol way, aren't they? Bath way. Yeah, so they done that. Like I say, we can keep going on.
Mate,
reactive parts, help us with all the fairings.
Yeah, because that's
CRC. We got MCRC UK, Steve Acker.
Yeah,
Done
that's
the tank cover. Slip screens, supplied us with screens.
He's always looked after your screens.
Yeah, all the slip screens. And they are and we're not, I'm not saying they are the best.
We found that the old dash wouldn't work with the new ECU, so Steve Rogers at Raceways looked after us on a dash because they had one in, because that turned into a bit of a hurry. So that was from them. Mate, and then
RE Performance, obviously.
They didn't do much.
They didn't do much at all, to be fair. No, obviously all your time, Rick, because you built an absolute weapon. Like I say, we could literally stand here and go through all the electronics. Oh, we got Dell's, so Dell's motorcycles and tyres. He bought a battery, and what's that lead? Power lead, so you can charge it up, because these the R1s drain the batteries, don't they? Like on top,
because they're so high compression. Like,
yeah, they just drain the battery. So we've got a race battery, that on there. EBC, we've got Bremers on these, but these are not my wheels. So EBC supplied us with discs, pads. We said about HEL, haven't we?
Mate.
Yeah, these are trick though. Let's buy this stuff.
Oh
and
and to be fair as well, I don't know if we can. Yeah, Tom put your name on everything, didn't he? To be fair.
Yeah.
He does look trick.
He looked after us as well with the Ducatis for years. Graeme again done the clutch for us.
Mate, it's just there's 3 bits I've got to sort out to make it perfect, and then it's done, and then that's it. You can sell it to me cheap.
I genuinely think we could stand here and talk about a load more people that have helped.
I'm racking my brain, so if we have forgotten you, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Motul sponsored it, because obviously we're Motul anyway, but Motul sponsored all the fluids for it. You know, I think everybody's just been keen to see you get, not back on your feet, but back on a bike.
Yeah.
Because
we do appreciate.
I think your brother will always claim to be your biggest fan.
Yeah.
But I'll fight anybody for number 2 spot on that one.
No, and genuinely, I obviously you're on the camera now, Rick, but you've got this really quiet workshop to run.
Yeah.
And
got much to do,
yeah, and I do appreciate everything you've done. And we've had plenty of cuddles over the weekend, and you know how much I appreciate it.
Mate, that podium at the end just topped off for me.
Yeah.
So stood on a box of you. I couldn't think of any 2 other people I'd rather stand there with.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely couldn't. That is maybe Valentino, and I'll take I'll take Rossi. That's it.
Keep me off for Rossi.
Yeah, exactly. That is it.
Yeah, and we won't decide me or George, but we'll kick one of us off. Kick us both off.
You pay my fairing, so George is gone.
Yeah.
So, mate, I'm glad you had a good weekend.
Yeah,
it is amazing to see you back.
So we're going to do a bit of racing. We're going to go to Anglesey now.
Is Marty bringing his decks?
Hopefully Marty's there. But it's just things like it is a weapon, but like I say, we have 1,500 quid in tyres.
Oh mate, yeah.
Bob's out. Bob's got us tyres.
Yeah.
That's about as much as he's helped us out. But obviously FWR got us tyres because they're like rocking horse.
Mate, he's a good lad as well, to be fair.
Yeah, he's been mustard. He's offered me to ride his 5-blade about 20 times, if I'm honest with you. But if I smash it up, I can't afford it.
No.
35 grand.
Well, you said that with mine as well, didn't you? You didn't want to ride mine. Or...
No, I said if I smash this up, it can sit in the corner for another few months. But they're super expensive to run, so I say can't thank Phoenix enough for their out with Castle Combe, because they helped out, and obviously Bob sorting the tyres for us. Get to Anglesey.
See how you do.
Yeah, I got both for that. See, look, I've done one race and
you're getting sucked back into it.
lap records. I just want to enjoy riding my bike.
So go on, then. What's your lap record on a big bike, Ran?
7.7.
Shit, is it?
Yeah. And an 8.2 on a 600. Which, like, if you boys get near the 8,
not
because I don't know how I've done that 8.2.
Mate, I don't know.
I genuinely
you must have
think,
jumped the chicane.
On a serious note in my head, I'm like, you must have messed that up. It was flat. It was with Billy Mellor and Ben Godfrey. They were on stock thousands.
Right.
I finished. No, it wasn't, because that was in the 600 race. I'm trying to think who was there. Another kiddie who does it a lot of times. Young lad on an R6. I think he done an 8.6.
I don't remember you doing that, but that's
It's mental, isn't it?
But that was at the 600, the R6 I built there.
Yeah, that was the R6 you done. We had slicks in it. It was, yeah, we had slicks in it.
I done a 9.4 last year, and the fastest lap of weekend last year in the BMW is a 9.4.
Yeah, it's mad.
So if you start smashing 7s, mate, I'll fucking see you later.
Yeah, so I think what's his name? The little ginger kid. Sorry, he was ginger. I'm not being.
Who?
Sam Hornsey.
Ah, yeah.
He done a 6.9
on a big bike.
Big bike. Yeah.
Did he?
I think he done a 6.9.
Hell.
I'm sure because it's Wirral, isn't it? I'm
Yeah,
sure
Wirral
wizards would tell us different, because they just do a million laps around there, don't
Yeah.
they? They're all pretty quick around there. Those lot.
Yeah, is it Adrian Kershaw? He's a bit of a wizard around there as well. He goes there quite a bit. So.
Yeah, I think Jenko had the outright one,
Yeah.
the big circuit.
The big circuit. Yeah,
we only do the corkscrew. The corkscrew. It's such a cool track.
It is a good track. It's a 600 track.
I think. Are you feeling it?
I like it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've won the year I won championship. I won every race there.
Is that?
Yeah, but like last year, I was quick there on a big bike. Mind you, George is quick. I got to be able to take it to George. So.
Yeah.
He's just.
And what I like about it, George is also is, even when you're at Castle Combe, like we joked about it, because I went and watched tonight, and I'm like, he's quicker here. He's like, don't tell Rick too much, but he's joking.
Yeah, no. We talk about it all the time.
He genuinely helps you out.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's what, like I said that to him. Like in the 600 race, it was me and him. Like he got a good start, and he probably pulled maybe 2 seconds on me, and I'll reel him back in.
Yeah.
And then when I'm on it, and this is what I said to him: if it wasn't for the fact that we were in the same garage together and we're good mates, it was twice I could have really brutal move.
Yeah.
I could have stuffed him in second chicane, and if it's anybody else, I wouldn't have thought about it. But this is the downside almost of racing.
What we've had conversations with.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm leading you and it's the last lap into Bybrook chicane, and you're like,
yeah, you're not going to really do it, are you?
It's got to be super clean. Yeah,
or you're going to think, I hope you make a mistake. I hope you make a mistake.
Yeah, and you never want to see your mate fall off. You just open, they run wide so you can like sneak up the middle. But
yeah, and I was having this with because we are obviously chatting about racing again, and relevant. We've gone off the subject a little bit, but with Harrison, it's the amount of times, because genuinely, when I was lining up at Combe and the bike overheated and it threw a bit of water out, TJ was like pointing down at the bike, and I genuinely thought, oh, your tyre's flat, or because we've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all done it as racers. We've gone.
Yeah. Rich Beercroft was a king.
Put it in your head. Put it in your head.
Yeah.
And for a minute, I genuinely thought he was trying to put me off.
Yeah.
But we've like I say, we've done it. We've gone. Oh, those sidecars must have dropped some serious oil at Druids. Oh, it's so slippy there this morning. Yeah. We just say it.
Yeah.
Because we get in the other rider's head, and I've had this conversation with people at the weekend about we're not being mean. It's part of the game. Yeah. Because even with footballers, they get whinged at for diving. Oh, they dive in.
Yeah, but
people don't understand it.
But they win a penalty.
But they win a penalty and win the game.
Yeah.
It's the game, and that's how it all works.
Yeah.
Because and I said this about Harrison's racing, the last round where he won all 3 races, he qualified pole, first qualifying, qualified pole by half a second. Second qualifying, all the qualifying sessions started, different classes obviously. The first one went slower, the second one went slower, the third one went slower, and they were crashing. So the rumours soon spread round that the track temp's gone up and it's greasy. So everyone's going slower. So I removed Harrison from the situation, put him in the caravan, gave him some food, gave him his track mat, he went 0.4 quicker. The only one to go 0.4 quicker. Because they'd all talked themselves in to going slower. And it's a lot of it's in. I haven't got a brain anymore anyway, but a lot of it's in the end. Hopefully, I won't get any of that because I just without being an idiot.
No,
but it is. It's
experience, isn't it? Experience.
So hopefully, he's been through a lot of it. You can teach him that as well now.
You're just, It's knowing when to push. It's knowing when to chill.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difficult bit is when he's having a bad weekend. It's then knowing when to chill and when to sort of kick him up the arse, and then when he's having a good weekend, not blowing smoke up his arse, trying to go, well, you know.
Yeah, no.
You know, because like you were winning power bike race, and you're cruising, thinking I've got this in the bag, and someone shuts you up.
It's not over till it's over, and I've told him that many times. It's not over till it's over.
You've done an absolute Sean Emmett.
Proper Sean Emmett to it. I just didn't almost crash. Yeah.
But right, mate. I'm glad you had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it back down so we can do this video.
That's all right, mate. Thank you for doing it.
See you at Anglesey, but
yeah, we should do something at the track.
Don't like have a big run in at the end now. Like just. Do you know what I mean? It's like this is all of a sudden now where you do 3 rounds, you win a fucking open all of a sudden.
No, I won't be doing that. Because what is it? Is it Anglesey and then Cadwell?
Anglesey and Cadwell.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't got Cadwell in my calendar, so I think that is because maybe Harrison's race.
Yeah, okay.
Before. I'd like to do it, but we'll see.
Right.
But yeah, thank you so much to everyone for all your help and everyone that's helped me in the future.
So, and then if you want, you got slim down the socials now. You've got too many socials. So, which one do you want? It's day of painting it really. That's the fair end. You're going to get back on the posting stuff now, like black unpainted bikes.
Yeah.
Professional bike.
I spoke to Marty earlier and he was like, you need to seriously paint your bike, it's not a good advert for your company. And I was like, yeah, but you're a big building company and your house is unfinished.
Yeah.
It's how it is, isn't it?
It's always the way, mate. And my bike's the last thing to get done.
Yeah, exactly.
So, right, mate.
Cool.
We'll see you on the next one.
Guys.
All right, see you later.
Bye.